welcome to SBC 103D, that is Protection Agencies and Community Relations. So on the Unit 6, that is Protection Agencies, Right of Minorities and Violence. On the third session, that seeks to talk about the concept of family stress is going to be discussed. And in this session, you learn about the concept of family stress, the types of stressors, the ABCX family stressor model, and its application in real life. And I believe you are going to enjoy, as it has always been interesting and it promises to be one of the best discussions we have had so far. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to explain family stress as a concept, identify potential stressor events, explain the ABCX family stressor model. So what is family stress? And then what is stress in general? Good. Stress refers to the state arising from an actual or perceived imbalance between a challenge or threats, that is the stressor, and capabilities, that is resources or coping mechanism in the family functioning. The family stress theory explores why some families adapt and even grow and flourish when faced with situational stressor or transitional events, while other family units deteriorate or disintegrate under similar circumstances. The theory basically explores the coping mechanisms that family adopts when they experience stress events. We have types of stressors, and the first type of stressor that we will talk about will be major upheavals. So upheavals like wars and natural disasters such as earthquake, floods, and hurricane are major upheavals. We have major life transitions, and this is as a result of birth, divorce, retirement, puberty, and death. The next type is chronic stresses, and this has to do with disabilities, severe physical and mental illness, drug and alcohol abuse, occupational problem, incarceration of family members or member. Occasional stressor has to do with car accidents, beggary, sudden illness, and so on and so forth. It is worth noting that these events could cause great stress for family, depending on their ability to cope with such stressor events. And sometimes the nature and scope of the event could be so devastating that even families that originally thought that they had the capacity to cope experience significant stress. Now, let's talk about the effect of the stressor events on families. And we are using ABCX family crisis model. And the A stands for the stressor events, the B stands for the resources available to the family, the C stands for the interpretation that is made of the event, the X stands for the likelihood of the crisis. And we try to explain that by explaining how a stressor event leads to actual stress or as a result of stress on the family. In other words, it seeks to explain the process by which a family is able to deal with stressful conditions based on its available resources or coping mechanism. That is, if A is the fire that destroys a property of a family, B will be the available resources available to the family, such as insurance cover, or having social shock absorbers, or higher psychological preparedness. And the C will be the stressor event, in this case, the distraction that is caused by the fire and is perceived or interpreted as normal or something that could easily be dealt with. And the S is based on family resources available and the favorable interpretation of the event. Stress might not occur. The opposition will be the case if the family does not have the resources, physical, social, and psychological resources to cope with a stressor event. And the interpretation will likely be, I am finished. My enemies have succeeded. Such interpretation might have led to devastation, stress, with its associated cardiovascular diseases. Interesting, right? I believe you can cite example for yourself where you pick the ABCS family crisis model in analyzing a situation. So a typical example is road accident. So the A will be the road accident. The B will be the resources available to the family, that is the insurance. The C will be the interpretation made of the event, and that is the accident caused by, let's say, overspeeding. And S is the likelihood of the crisis, that is the effects of the accident, that can be an amputated leg. Any question? So in your homes and then your workplaces, you can be using the ABCS family crisis model to analyze crisis as far as stress is concerned. And I believe that you can do that. Interesting. All too soon, we've come to the end of the third session, that you've been introduced to the concept of family stress, the type of stress, and the ABCX family stress model, as well as its practical application to our daily lives. As I told you, it's promised to be interesting, and indeed it has been interesting, isn't it? Good. I entreat you to join me next time when we take the fourth session that seeks to talk about the concepts of domestic violence, and as always, it promises to be interesting and you love it. Until we meet for that session, bye for now.